Hello, and welcome back. I got a story. I've got a story for you today. A recent story that will, I hope, help you accept the unfolding journey that is in store for you. The universe unfolds as it will, as it shall, as it's going to, as it's meant to. And you're a part of that flow. And we fight it as human beings who want to be in ultimate control. But then when we are in ultimate control, we lose control because we're not meant to manipulate in that way. We are on an unfolding journey, already decided. And the only thing you've got to do is align with that journey. Okay. Story time. Everything's meant for us. I recently had to go to the eye doctor. I have not been back to the eye doctor in 5 years. I have insurance now, and I have not yet used my insurance card for anything. Nothing. Do I need to go to the dentist? Yeah, I do. Do I need to get a checkup? Yeah, I do. So why? I didn't realize until the eye doctor. So go in, and I am not doing well. When he asks me, number one or number two, I don't ask, I don't advocate. I don't say, let me see number one again. I go, yeah, whatever, okay, it's fine. I think it's the same and move on because I'm nervous. I have anxiety rising, a bunch of problems. End up leaving with the wrong prescription and my glasses not being focal pointed correctly. I dealt with this for over a month. Why? I didn't put it together until I had a healing moment about it. I sat down and I let my brain wander to wherever it wanted to wander when I brought up the eye doctor scenario. Where is my mind going? And it immediately went to a repressed memory involving doctors and the medical field. So you could say, why me? Because the focal point was off, the prescription was off. Why such a challenge? Never had that happen to me before in my life. I have never had an issue with glasses after leaving the optometrist, except for now. Why? Because my spirit was desperate for me to make the connection awareness of my trauma that is now holding me back from doing things that I need for medical self-care. I just literally didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until this challenge, this adversity. So in face of this adversity, I was brought opportunity to heal. Because we talked about this the other day. In the face of adversity is always opportunity. So I was given an opportunity to break these chains that have been tethering me from change and trusting others that are professionals to help with said change, even down to a haircut. I didn't even realize it. So, that adversity, that mistake at the eye doctor appointment was meant for me to then have a reflection, healing moment through my practice of calling mark, map, and move, I marked the situation and I let it draw lines and create a map to all other memories that were triggered by this one situation in my present. And then the move part is when you start to realize it and all of this starts to come up, you move on to the next thing, because yes, you need to release and have a catharsis. But what I'm learning in this journey is not every catharsis needs to be debilitating. So the move part is I'm crying, I've made the connections, and I broke open that new aha moment, created a new perspective, and then I moved on by watching my neighbor walk their dogs. So now I'm regulating again. We get into regulation mode so that we can then get into proactive mode. So then once I'm in regulation mode and I'm back into center, I then come up with a proactive plan to then face these fears I didn't know I had and abolish them so that the next time I can become more trusting with that realm that was affected by trauma. By the way, it worked. I also have a haircut scheduled for today. So, instead of seeing that issue as what's wrong with the doctor, I hate everybody, I'm so mad, I sat, I marked the situation, I had a mindful moment of mapping the connections and realizing that the filter of perception I had on was not that of truth, but of personal truth, a distorted sense of clarity. Moving on to why this is even this adversity just keeps unfolding. So then I went back to the eye doctor, got retested, and this time I advocated for my needs. This time I spoke out about my anxiety, and I did ask for, I do need to see slide number 2 again. I do need to see that one again. And we went in depth. He even brought out bifocal stuff. Like, we were going in. And because of the new realization made and the proactive planning of what I'm going to do to ease my discomfort, by expressing my needs vaguely, they don't need to know the details of why. They just need to know I'm feeling dreadful and daunting right now. And upon that, everyone else there also loosened up and smiled more and took more time and relaxed a little bit. So then the whole environment felt better. Number 2 reason why I was brought into this scenario, because I also need to learn to utilize my communication skills while maintaining regulation. This is all practice because we got goals, and the universe and God knows of my goals, and it is helping me establish what I need to become what I need to become to attract and succeed in my goals. So, third thing, now I'm back there again. We're doing the things. She's fixing the focal point to that of my old glasses. So because we discussed how I have a little bit, it's hard for me with change. And I notice every small detail inside of that change. And I can't help but notice this. And she goes, I understand. Let's just do that. Let's just make it the old ones. While we're talking about that, I feel drawn like a channel moment to say, right, because I don't really wear my contacts that much. I'm mostly in my glasses, so this is very important to me. She then goes, now she has an aha moment. She goes, oh, if that's the case, why not let's return your 6 months worth of contacts, the ones that I've had since I was 10, now maybe like 13. I've had the same contact brand because I'm not that great with change. It throws me off. So I've never tried anything else. But the doctor keeps pushing me to try the one-a-days because my glasses prescription is so bad that the contacts are now very thick on my eye. And that's why I'm not really wearing my contacts as much. So I tell her that. She goes, maybe that's because I'm like, no to the one-a-days because those are going to be way more expensive and out of my price range. She then goes, after years of me turning down one-a-days because of the price, she goes, yeah, but you don't wear your contacts that much. You really only wear them during the nice weather in the summer months to go swimming, because I was rambling. So she's hearing all this. She goes, so why not trade in the 6 months worth from the old brand, and get the amount, whatever, the same cost amount, but in the one-a-days. Not only were they the better contact, they're the only contact that has the new finalized prescription. All arrows pointing to new directional change. So, because of my knowledge of prayer, intention setting, and moving towards goals, I know that me, my spirit, God, the universe, we're all on the same page right now. So I'm not taking any of this as I'm being cursed or punished. I'm seeing these as opportunities. So I'm allowing it to unfold without entering my opinion or my old programming or my anxiety. Observe from a mindful perspective with your wise mind, and you see that there's betterment unfolding for you through this challenging adversity. Meanwhile, I've been back and forth to the eye doctor now like 6 times in the last 2 months. I wanted to get upset. I wanted to say, oh, gas money. I wanted to. But this time around, because of the knowledge that we now know in life, I let it unfold. And I allowed the channel of what my spirit was whispering to me to say, and I just said it. And that helped her help me better. Same with my doctor. So I'm proving to myself in this adversity of all the truths we've been discussing this entire channel. All right. I wrote down some notes. Right, so all I needed to do was address that suppressed memory, heal from that trauma, validate my experience, come up with a proactive plan so that I maintain center and grounding, so that I maintain regulation, so that I may maintain alignment, and through that, attracted opportunity. Okay. I have so many notes. Right. So we made a challenging change for the better. Doing what we need to do to remain in alignment and flow. We need to remain in flow. You need to start to trust that there is a flow. That when you lead with pure-hearted intentions, you will be led. You will be guided. Now, this got me to thinking about, because I saw this meme today. When a goddess wants something, she creates it, not by manipulating, but by doing the inner work and working on her vibrational frequency because she has faith in herself and universe that if she does the work, whatever she wants would be given to her as per divine universal laws. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, this has a lot to do with your personal power and confidence, though. Because if you don't have self-trust, then you're not going to have universal trust. So that then spurred thoughts of me writing in my notes about a personal empowerment move, like ditching a bad habit. Because if any whisper inside of you whispers that success will be closer reached without that bad habit or that external attachment, then that's what you work on. Now, there's a difference, though, between whispers of what's the next inner work that you need done and external, the parasite, because that's an ally showing you what you need. You need to quit cigs. You need to quit drinking. You need to stop drinking caffeine. You need to stretch. You need to move your body. That, when you start doing those things, your spirit knows that will provide you with the confidence you need to then have the faith that you need in the universe and in the flow. So it's about personal confidence. What that guy might need to reach that flow state is not what you're going to need to reach that flow state. So that's still the allies supporting you. Even though you might consider it negative because you're being called out, but that's for your own benefit, for the alignment, so that you maintain the flow. There's a difference between that and your mind. Now, the parasite telling you that you need an external situation to align for you to then become successful. Like, for example, I wrote down, for example, once I make X amount of money, I'll find peace. That is untrue. The parasite wants you to think that so that you surpass peace and constantly stay in overwhelm, hustle, and urgency culture, always needing an external to fill an internal. And that's where you maintain weakness, that vulnerability. So the real answer is establish peace so that you may be in the vibrational frequency of feeling abundant because you're peaceful, and then you attract the wealth. Now, if you don't believe that, then that's where you enter affirmations. I am wealthy. I attract abundance. Money finds me easily. My business is doing well. I have orders every day. I have a client line out the door. Things like that. Because sometimes, even though we're working on alignment, we don't realize that our brain is still very much programmed to an old programming that says you aren't deserving. And that's like another layer that needs to be unfolded. And why do we feel undeserving? We need a new neural pathway. We need a new neural pathway connection to then maintain the truth and validity inside of these affirmations, because that's what it's about. Your faith and your belief and your trust in yourself to attract these things. Establish that inner work so you can attract what you really need, rather than neglecting the inside, keeping it empty, and constantly looking to fill that emptiness with external success and external accomplishment. Because yes, it does work. You will release those brain chemicals of reward and blah, blah, blah. But are you well-rounded, or are you embodied embodying that of work. So when you're done work and you have a weekend, is your weekend balanced with rest and also fun? Or is it just continued accomplishment because now that's the only way you know how to release those brain chemicals? And then when that happens and we're stuck and we're like, oh, I don't have any motivation, I feel ugh. And now we're looking at our responsibilities and our chores as like, oh, wow, I'm not even having any fun. You're lowering your vibrational frequency again. That's why you can't put all your eggs in the basket, the external basket. They all need to be within self. Because when self is aligned, self can do anything. But it has everything to do with that personal power. Now, how could I believe, as an alcoholic and an addict, that I am deserving of anything? So that's a very obvious first step of what to get rid of, because it is linking to feelings of unworthiness. You see, it's not about the addiction. It's not about what you're connected to. It's about the emotional response linked to these attachments. Do you feel shame? Do you feel guilt? Fear? Low vibrational frequencies jamming you up. So that's why it's a very personal journey, the healing and self-mastery journey. It's so personal because let's say whatever external attachment this guy's got over here makes him feel empowered. That's great. But what happens if he can't get to that thing one day? We talked about that yesterday, about like having routines and structures that help you throughout your day, but then also balancing that line of not becoming codependent upon that structure so that it can be adaptable without triggering your nervous system. This is the same thing. We don't want to rely on anything that's going to throw us, because then you're getting knocked out of alignment of creation. You got seeking versus creation. What are you looking for? It's right here. Create it. Right? It's not somewhere in a location somewhere. It's here already. It's already here. So it's already in you. If you can visualize and imagine it, it's already here. You just need to get into the vibrational frequency to tune your radio into the radio station to get the clarity. So, new contacts, which are feel better in my eyes, are now inspiring me to make that move because I overcame the trauma, that anxiety trigger from my PTSD. I overcame that and we came out a winner because now I got contacts that don't bother me as much and they're the right prescription, which then motivated me. We're going to make that hair appointment. And we're going to keep up with it consistently. We're going to go every 9 weeks or whatever. We're going to do the work because that's my journey of personal empowerment. Uncovering in-laden fears that are tied to old trauma and triggers, abolishing those blocks, those energetic blocks, so that I can feel the best version of myself. And throughout the last 8 years of doing all that internal work, I do feel a lot more confident. It's this next step that now I'm like, I actually want to do professional self-care. I want to do more doctor's appointments, more hair appointments, more. Because what if now where I have been brought, this is the next level for me to become closer to that ultimate empowerment. Right? Like maybe your hair and medical self-care came first. Maybe that's what you needed to do first. I was so in the hole that I wasn't thinking about this or this. That didn't even cross my mind until now, 8 years later. Because we were unpeeling and releasing these blocks to become closer to authentic self and personal empowerment, to be able to have faith and trust in oneself, to also to balance the blessings you end up attracting. That's another important thing. Now, you might say, your hair's not important. I feel you. I used to always think that way. That's why it is the way it is. But until recently, when I keep going in the bathroom and looking at all the dead, scraggly ends, I am distracted now. Do you see what I'm saying? It's also about what's distracting you about yourself from your ultimate goals. I could be working. I could be making another video. I could be doing something creative to make and sell. But instead, I'm in the bathroom hand cutting every single tiny split end I see. That's when you realize it's a problem that needs a proactive solution. Because you're wasting your time on something that has an easy, actionable solution, but you're avoiding it. For me, because of that fear, because of that I didn't know I had nervousness over that change, and taking that first step. And that's really what my spirit is trying to get me to abolish. Right? Take that to whenever change happens and I get, this is now the part of the journey that my spirit wants to get rid of that. It wants me to accept change. That's why I'm lately, from Aries season till now, I have been it's been coming at me. But because we're 8 years in, I'm like, let's go. I might be crying, I might be upset, but these are necessary adversities for an ultimate opportunity that I might not see right now because I don't know the bigger picture. We don't. But there is a bigger picture. Surrender to this bigger picture, to this flow. And watch yourself be guided through adversity after adversity, hand-tailored to build your personal power. Interesting. Right? Now I'm more motivated to wear contacts, which means I'm more motivated to wear makeup, which I don't need to do every day. This is not an external attachment. These are just things that are now being revealed to me that I've never thought of before. And so I'm on a new plane now. Stepping into my power, accepting my worth, my value. And if that means having a good eyeglass prescription and dead ends trimmed off my hair, and if it's that easy now, whereas before it was a lot bigger, like it wasn't just go get good glasses and get your hair trimmed. It was like a daunting list of shit I had to cut out of my life. I'll take it. This is the evolutionary process of self-growth and self-mastery. As trivial as it might sound, getting a haircut, it's not. It's just the more you get rid of, you do get to a point in the journey where it does become easier fixes. Maybe not easier to you because that's the emotional block that needs to get addressed. Like for me, I get nervous when I go around other feminine women who know about hair and makeup and things. I'm like, and I shrink a little bit another thing I didn't notice about myself until God or the universe, or both, God, universe, put me in the scenario, in that hair salon to make that appointment. And I was like, why did I just do that? Because I'd never been in the scenario before. And I needed to, so that I can recognize a vulnerability within self that needs to be handled with proactivity and mindfulness and abolishment. Isn't that great? So everything that you're guided to do is literally for the ultimate grand picture of becoming the most self-trusting, self-knowing, authentic version of yourself, so that you could be at peace, you could be in bliss, and you can then create your reality through attraction. It's true. And those whispers, the ally that whispers things like, hey, let's not get drunk tonight. Let's I don't know, go for a walk. Capitalize on that. Don't push it out of your mind as a separate thing. That's your spirit begging you for change. Start to listen to those voices and differentiate the parasite versus the ally. The ally will still say stuff that might make you feel a little uncomfortable because it's like shadow work things, but the parasite's going to make you think that your change needs to be on the outside. So that's where you can really recognize. Stop hunting and seeking. You're already on the path. Learn to open your eyes, introspect, and recognize that these meaningless tasks, these things that you just have to accomplish, are journeys into self. And stop disassociating during them. Mindfully connect. Put your phone away. Mindfully connect with every moment that you're in, especially new and uncomfortable ones. Because there are messages and answers and solutions to what you might be racking your brain around right here. But because you're in here and not here observing, you're missing it. You're missing it. And that is the unconditional love of the universe that we talk about all the time. Because how much more unconditionally loved can you get than being literally guided by the hand through the healing journey, through the necessary actions that are going to bring you closer to yourself? Right? I didn't have to earn that. I didn't have to work hard for that. Yeah, inner work. Totally. But I didn't have to inner work to earn it. It's always there. Even when you're at your shittiest. Trust me. Smoking addict, alcoholic, and I still, not when I was drinking the alcohol. The alcohol separates you from spirit. But even in addiction, the heat of my addiction, the voice was like, you're excited now. Because I started doing creative things. I started getting into gemstones, started creating my business. I was like, you're excited now for your future, right? And I was like, yeah. And it was like, now what's your future going to look like alongside your addiction? And I couldn't see it. That is the ally revealing to me that I cannot have both futures now. I never thought of it before, never visualized a future other than me just chasing a drug. So now that I had this branch off of a different avenue to my future, they both couldn't exist. And right then it all made sense. I understood. If I want A, I got to get rid of B. And now, after getting rid of so much to get on track A, now that we're on track A, it's the fine-tunement. It's like, hey, there's going to be a challenge coming up in the road, and to be able to get over it, to get through it, you're going to have to go back into that repressed memory, and we're going to have to make some correlations and connections and proactively heal to keep going down this road. Awesome. Bring it on. Let's do this. Because also, there's so many tools in my belt at this point. Whatever unfavorable catharsis comes up that's really uncomfortable, it's good. It's comfy for me. Like, let's go. So, that's all I really have for you today, because that felt really important. Like a personal example, personal story of adversity after adversity. Granted, in reflection to other adversities I've gone through, this was very light. This was light and very appreciated. But that's what happens. They do get lighter the more you go, because you're getting stronger. So yeah, it's not as dreadful and dark. It's like, yeah, go to the eye doctor. And don't worry, I'll take care of the rest. Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't want that control. That freaks me out. I just want everything to unfold. I don't want to actually do the unfolding. I'm not a freaking origami master. Just show me what I need to do to get closer to that goal, right? Closer. And what's the goal? An empowered you, free from all emotional blocks and traumas. Have a great day, an awesome weekend. You freaking got this. Look for the message and the lesson inside of everything, and grow with the flow. Grow with the flow, homie. Grow with the flow.